Next, we will move on to the weathering of rocks. This is very important for the civil engineers, especially. As we know, we are working on, we will be there in the rock, right? For your foundation or as a material, we are using rock in different forms and different applications. So, weathering describes the breaking down or dissolving of rocks and minerals on the surface of the earth. Water, ice, acids, salts, plants, animals, and changes in temperature are all agents of weathering. So, how that weathering is happening? It's because of this water, ice, acids, whatever you are seeing on the surface of the earth. Once a rock has been broken down, a process called erosion transport the pits of rocks and minerals away. As we know that if we please recall the types of rocks, it will be the one of the rock is weathering rock, because this will be because of this kind of different types of activities. So types of weathering, it may be a physical weathering, chemical weathering, and it may be a biological weathering. Yeah, physical weathering, chemical weathering, or it may be a biological weathering. You can understand from the name itself. Physical weathering means by physical force. It may be frozen or thrown or wind or water by some physical force. Chemical weathering means acid rain, some other naturally formed chemicals which will be a reason for the weathering. Biological weathering because of biological activities. So we will discuss more on this in this lecture. So physical weathering is caused by the effect of changing temperature on rocks, causing the rocks to break apart. The process is sometimes assisted by water. There are two main types of physical weathering. One is freeze thaw. Thaw occurs when water continuously seep into the rock cracks, freezes and they expand, eventually breaking the rock apart. So normally it will be there in the places where the more cold temperature, or you can see the different kinds of temperature varies from the whole minus degree Celsius places and then into the temperatures which vary. Exploitation occurs as rock cracks developed parallel to the land surface, a consequence of reduction in pressure during the uplift and erosion. So it will be move and it will form in different formation. Where does it occur? Physical weathering happens especially in places where there is a little soil and few plants grow, such as mountain regions and hot deserts. So these are the two different places where you can expect this kind of physical weathering. How does it occur? Either through repeated melting and freezing of water, mountains and tundra, or through expansion and contraction of the surface layer of rocks that are backed by the sun or hot desert. Next one is the chemical weathering. So the chemical weathering is caused by rainwater reacting with the mineral grains in rocks to form new minerals. Because of its react with that mineral, already the rock will contain some chemical and it will react with that and it will form new type of clays or insoluble salts, whatever it may be. These reactions occur particularly when the water is slightly acidic, because it should have that chemical reaction for that. Where it occurs, the chemical process needs water, of course, and occurs more rapidly in highest temperature, so warm, damp climate are best. Chemical weathering, especially hydrolysis and oxidation, is the first stage in the production of soil. So how the rock is formed or deformed as a soil, it's because of chemical weathering. How does it occur? There are different types of chemical weathering. The most important are solution, hydrolysis and oxidation. Solution, removal of rocks in solution by acidic rainwater. In particular, limestone is weathered by rainwater containing dissolved carbon dioxide which are present in the water, rainwater. This process is sometimes called carbonization. Hydrolysis, the breakdown of rocks by acidic water to produce clay and soluble salts, that is known as the hydrolysis. Next one is the oxidation, the breakdown of rocks by oxidation and water, often giving iron-rich rocks a rusty colored weathered surface. That is called the chemical weathering. Then what is meant by biological weathering? It's a living organism contribute to the weathering process in many ways. Trees put down the roots through the joints of or cracks in the rock in order to find moisture. So the roots normally try to find moisture nearby. So what will happen, suppose it is on the surface of a rock or something, then it will try to penetrate its tree roots into the moisture, nearby moisture, so it will break down the rocks. As the tree grows, the roots gradually prise the rock apart. So biological, many animals such as these pittock cells bore into the rock for protection, either by scraping away the grains of or scratch or segregating acid to the dissolve the rock. So it will try to live in that. So for that it will form as a biological weathering. Even in the thinnest bacteria, algae, lichens produce chemicals that help break down the rock on which they live, so they can get the nutrients they need. So for that they will do the biological weathering. So the end of product will be the biological weathering. Thank you.